Hi everyone, this is Margarita with City Gal Papeterie, and for my last Christmas video, you guys helped me decide what to do, and it was a tag flip. That's what you guys voted for. So I am going to be making a tag flip with you all today, and I decided to use this cupcake set that I don't even know where this came from. I don't know. I don't know if someone gave it to me. I don't know if I bought it on clearance. I don't know if I inherited it with like all the other craft stuff that I have, but I have this set, and I had it in my kitchen for a while because I thought maybe I would make some cupcakes with it, right? Because it's a cupcake set, but I've never used it, and it's been there for years. And I thought, you know what? This would be great for using it on the tag flip because I could do one tag per day of Christmas, right? So I'll do 12 tags, and then one tag will represent each of the 12 days of Christmas. And I thought that would be great. I'm going to use this for that. And so you can see we have in this set comes like the little sleeves for your cupcakes, which I've actually chopped some of them up and used in my cards. And then these would also be good to make some rosettes. I like to make rosettes from cupcake liners. And then these are toothpicks with a little like people on them. So this would be the nine ladies dancing. And you know, we've got the swans swimming, we've got the turtle dove, all of them are here. And I've used a couple for other projects, but I have plenty to use here, and I'm only going to use one per tag. So I am going to start the tag flip. I'm so excited. I begin by grabbing one of the cupcake liners and cutting out the ribbed part, the like accordion part from the outside. And I thought I was going to be using the center as well, but I actually don't use the center. I just use the outside to make a rosette. So to do that, I just bring it around again, like if it, you know, like if I hadn't cut it, but I make it shorter. And then I glue the end there from the inside, and then I cut off a piece from the top. Sorry, there's a motorcycle passing right by my window. I set that aside to dry, and then the other cupcake liner, I flatten it out. To help me do that, I spritz it with a little bit of water. Now these are coated. They're kind of, they're a little bit waxy, so the water doesn't damage the paper at all. And now I'm just prepping all my tags. So I've cut them down to the size that I want. I think they're like 3.5 by 5, something like that. I'll include the size in the description below. And then I chop off all my corners, and I just make sure that they're all the same. So I use one to cut the corners from all the others. And then I take this like 2-inch wide glitter washi tape to begin my first tag, which is just a plain white one. And you can see I made them all double-sided. And once that's down, I take this picked raspberry distress oxide ink and a blender, and I put my tag onto a piece of cardstock, and I just start blending some color onto the sides of my tag. And yeah, so I go ahead and start blending some of the color in. I start off light, and then I do add some more. I feel like it's way too light, so I do go in and add much more color. And I'm not really trying to be too gentle here because I'm just trying to add color on there. I'm not adding too much color at once because I like to build from the first coating, but I do add a sufficient color. Then I take this unicorn ink pad from Hero Arts, and I put it onto this rubber stamp from Inka Dinka Doo, I want to say. I think it's either Inka Dinka Doo or Stampin' Up. And then I stamp it with white ink onto the sides of my tag where I've blended the picked raspberry ink. And yeah, so it gives it this nice little swirly holiday look. And now I take my piece of my cupcake liner, and I trimmed the top and bottom, and I'm just lining it up to the plaid lines to get a straight cut. And you can see it's a little sheer, so I glue it onto this piece of cardstock, and then I glue the cardstock onto my tag. So this way it's not so flimsy and it's not see-through. And once that's down really well, I'm not sure why my camera's getting blurry, but once that's down really well, I trim off the sides. And then I move on to the next step. I take this snowflake punch trim that I had left over from a recent project, and then I add a little glue and I tuck it right under the cupcake piece. And then with a glue dot, I'm just making sure that it's lined properly. And then with a glue dot, I put down my little partridge in a pear tree, and I just tucked it into the trim, that the snowflake trim that I already glued down. And to add some more detail, I take this scallop punch from Stampin' Up. It's really old. Oldie but a goodie. And I just punch all the edges with that scallop pattern. I'm just lining it up right now. It's off frame, but I'm just trying to line it up to the pattern so that I get a nice even cut. And then I trim that down to 1/2 inch. So I have two nice little strips, scalloped strips, and then I glue that down to each side of my glittery washi tape. Now I'm focusing on only half of the tag flip because I didn't want it to be like an hour-long video, and there are 12 of them. So these are the first 6. Part 1 will be the first 6. Part 2 will be the remaining tags. Oh, I just punch out some circles from this scrap strip of paper, and then I glue some down onto my background just for some added detail. But I want to focus on making the loaded tag flip, which is why I'm uploading this video now, so at least you guys can see part of the tag flip. I don't know why my camera is so blurry. I've got to check that out, but sorry that's so blurry there. But I'm just gluing down the little circles that I punched out, and that pretty much, I think that completes that tag. Yeah, so this is the next one. And so I flip that tag around, and I grab this square that I die cut out of a lace frames rectangle. And now I'm not going to include a whole supply list. I might do that on the blog. I'll try to make a blog post and include all of the supplies that I use. But if there's anything in particular that you want to know where I got it from, please just let me know in the comment section, because I use a lot of different random things, and I don't have my stuff well organized because I just moved recently. So anyway, here I just attached some foam squares to the back of that panel, and now I'm putting I'm threading some twine through the corners, and I'm gonna attach these little banners to that. Once I know how much slack I need in the twine, I just make a little knot on the other corner so that it doesn't come through. And then I punch circles into this scrap silver paper cardstock. And now I'm working on this rosette because I'm waiting for my hot glue gun to heat up, and then with some glue dots I make my little rosette. I add that little circle to the underside of my cupcake liner, and then I tuck my toothpick with my what is this, turtle dove. I stick it into the liner, and then I add another silver circle to the top. All right, now I am going to use my glue gun to adhere my little banner pieces that spell snow. I start from the first piece and the last piece so I can make sure I have enough space in the middle. And these are from the ephemera pack that I've been using like all season. And again, if you want to know of any items that I use, please just let me know in the comment section and I will do my best to get that for you. And then I adhere my little rosette with my glue gun, grab this green scrap paper, and I I die cut a stitched heart from it and then glue that behind my turtle dove. And with the same paper, I punched out a smaller heart, and I'm going to glue it onto that long piece of twine that was left over on the side. I didn't trim it because I wanted to have it hanging off with some little charms or something on it. So I add this little heart. In the meantime, I do add more to it. And then I take these glitter sticker numbers that I purchased from the 99-cent store a long time ago. I never used number stickers, but they were so sparkly I couldn't resist. And I glue that down to the center to represent day 2. I fussy cut, this is the next tag, I fussy cut that little stocking from that recycled card. I die cut this scalloped stitched frame from that pattern paper and glued it onto another pattern paper and then cut that out. And then the plan is to have my French hen coming out of the little stocking and then onto this little panel that you can pull out from behind the pocket, a pocket that I'm going to create there. And then I take this little buckle and I cut out this glitter buckle and I attach it to a ribbon. And so there I created my little tag with some twine, and that's what my little stocking is going to go on to with the French hen inside. And I also add these little candy cane stickers to also join the French hen in the little stocking. And I mess with this a lot. I have a hard time like getting it straight, so I'm just gonna skip all that mess and go right to the gluing. And so I just use my hot glue gun to glue down the toothpick with my little French hen, and then I glue that onto my little tag. And that's going to go right inside the little pocket on the larger tag. And I thought this came out so cute. And then I add my little ribbon with the green sparkly buckle. And it's a little bit loose, so I just grab a piece of white baker's twine and then I tie it around the base of my ribbon there so that it can stay in place. And then I just trim the ribbon end into a little fishtail. And now I'm just adding some embellishments. I add these gold glitter snowflakes. These dies are from Anna Griffin. And then I had these little glittery like advent calendar sticker number stickers, and so I used the number 3 for the 3 French hens, day 3. And then I continue to add little details to the tag. So I add this little banner that says joy to the world, And then this little Christmas tree that I cut off of, I think, a recycled card or something. It came from somewhere else. It was just kind of laying around in my Christmas stuff. And then I add another little heart at the top, a glitter heart, and another snowflake, and that tag is done. For tag 4, I do create this little, what is this called? Like a slider mechanism to it. So you see I changed the color from the back. I made a blue, I added a blue pattern snowflake paper. And then to the bottom, because you're going to be able to see the paper through the mechanism, I added a piece of white cardstock. And then I have this other cardstock that I die cut and added a strip with a piece of foam tape. That's my little number 4. It was a number sticker. I just put it onto white cardstock and fussy cut it out. And now I'm gluing it onto the scrap piece, the little strip that's going behind the mechanism. And so you see there, when you pull the tab, it's going to take the number with it. And that's how you make the slider mechanism work. Now I'm just creating a little trail for the mechanism, so I can adhere it to the card, or to the tag rather. But I gotta leave, I have to leave like a little trail, like a marked area for the tab to actually move, so I can't glue it down. So I just make sure that I'm gluing around it. You could also use like foam tape or foam squares for this, but I didn't want it to be two dimensional. So it gets a little bit sticky because the tab itself sticks a little bit to some of the glue dots, but it's okay. It does work. And then I grabbed these little pieces of scrap paper that I cut little Christmas trees, or, I cut some triangles, and I'm adding some detail to them with a white gel pen, just so they look a little more like, Christmas trees out in the forest. And then I glue those down using my glue gun. And I'm just going to add a few more details to the other 2 trees. Now, I could make a card with the slider mechanism if anyone wants to see that more in depth. I know this was kind of a super quick show of, how you do that. But if you want to see that more in depth, just, please let me know. Because yeah, this wasn't too detailed as to like how you can get the mechanism to work in a card or some other project. For the last one, I'm just adding these little V marks. So each of the trees has their own markings on them. And there they are. So I've got a little number 4 that slides back and forth. And then I had this die from this tag, or yeah, it was like a little tag pack that I got from Michael's. It's a Recollections brand. And I use a glue dot to stick down my large snowflake. And I'm gonna cover the center with a heart and tuck the toothpick for the 4 calling bird. There's only 1 for each one, but we're gonna pretend there are 4. Or at least it's day 4, so you guys know what I mean. And so there's my little calling bird singing out into the world, and then I added these little dimensional mitten stickers and a sentiment to the bottom. And then from the pack of my ephemera, I cut out this little snowflake. It's actually just a sample of what is inside of the pack, and I cut it out so I can add it to the end of the tab that you're gonna pull. So this way it shows a little bit more and it matches. The sentiment says, in the meadow we can build a snowman. So I thought this was perfect because I didn't have any snowmen in the actual image of the layout of the actual tag. So this way there's a little snowman element to it. And then on the opposite side of the tab, I glue down a little pom-pom. So there's something covering either side of the tab. And it's like a little cream color, so it matches the tag that's on the opposite side of the number 4. For tag number 5, I take some vellum and this little frame and some double-sided tape. I glue down or tape down my vellum, and it's gonna be not actually a shaker, but I do want to contain some snowflakes in between the vellum. And I'm just trimming the edges there. So after I have my first layer of vellum down, I'm going to add some more double-sided tape. And then I put my little snowflakes in the center. I don't want to put too much. I don't expect them to move around much, if at all, because I'm not really giving them much room. I'm not using foam to adhere the two pieces of vellum. I'm just using double-sided tape. So this is more for the look. So that's down, and then I trim off the edges of that. And now, because it's white on white, I add this green doily that is from Stampin' Up. So you can see behind the vellum a little bit, it kind of peeks behind it. And then I made this bow using those dies. And that's just a Stampin' Up pack of the doilies. These doilies are really, really cute. I think I got them on clearance. They might actually still have them, I'm not sure. And then I tape down my little frame with the snowflakes. I don't go too crazy. I didn't do all 4 sides, you know, it's fine. And here come my rings for the 5 golden rings. And then I also die cut this heart from a sentiment that I had. And I'm just trying to decide if I want it at the top or the bottom, and if I want the bow at the top or the bottom. I choose my location for my rings and adhere that with a glue dot. And then I put down my bow at the bottom. I adhere that with some double-sided tape. And then I put my heart on the top left of the frame with some foam dots or some foam squares. And then just for a final or some little added detail, I punched out some more red paper with that scallop punch, and then I add that to the top and bottom, and then you see the little number 5 with some snowflakes that I added as well. With these little doily dies, I cut out 3 dies, 3 doilies, and then I have this other die that makes this little like shade. It's like a window shade with a valance at the top. And you know, you add some twine through the holes, you thread it through the holes, and then you can actually get your little window shade to go up and down. So I add my twine, and now I'm deciding where. I'm actually waiting for my glue gun to heat up, which is why I set the little window shade aside, and I'm working on something else now. So I'm putting my little goose on the glitter panel there with the doilies. And so, you know, this is 6 geese are laying. This goose is laying a Merry Christmas doily. And now I'm gonna finish up my little shade, my little blind. So for the thread, the what am I trying to say? I forgot how to speak. I punch a hole in the little snowflake, and then I tie it to the bottom of the twine, so that you have something to pull it from, but also it's going to keep the twine in place. And so I do that to both sides, and now I hot glued it to the glitter paper. I do move my goose with the doilies down just a bit. I don't think I record that, but yeah. So you see how that works? You just pull the strings and the little blind goes up. But I needed something to help the blind come back down, so you could grab it from the center. So I added another little semicircle punch, and another pom-pom. And so now you can grab the little snowflakes and you can pull it open. Oh, and then I add the valence to the top. Don't want to forget that. I add that with foam squares. So it's lifted up. It's not like flat down. And so that's how it works. You pull the little strings and the blind goes up. You see what's underneath, and then you can pull it right back down. And that's my 6th one. I added a little twine to the bottom. This is the last one for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had so much fun making these. I'm editing the second part right now. You can see the little number sticker right there for number 6. I'm editing the next part right now, and it's also going to have a share of the Tagflip that I'm giving away on the giveaway later this week. Okay, so I'll see you guys next time. I will be back with part 2 very soon. Bye.